everyone. I like to talk about ancestral clearing and why it's such a big deal and why it's also very difficult, right? And it's one of the most challenging things in which we may be doing unconsciously. For some of us who are much more conscious about it, when we're doing our ancestral clearing, it can feel really quite heavy. So I just want to talk about this. Um, you know, if you consider yourself a spiritual practitioner, you would be the one in your family carrying the light or carrying the torch, for your family line, for your ancestral line, for your cultural line, and usually, if you are the one who is, more awakened, you carry more light, and because you carry more light, you have a responsibility in inverted commas in a very unconscious way where you become like a doorway for a deeper healing and deeper clearing. And it's almost like because you know better, then you have to do better, right? And you unconsciously take on the responsibility to do the healing. And in a sense, it's almost like karmic clearing as well. And if this energy is very heavy in your family, then you may feel it in your body, you may feel it in your system, you may feel the emotions, the thoughts. And the trick here is to utilize all that you have learned, right, on your spiritual journey, in your personal development, to utilize all your mental tools, emotional tools, spiritual tools, do your psychological work, do the shadow work, to really allow these energies to pass through and to stop playing the stories in your mind. Now, what happens when a person is stuck, in a particular energy? For example, if they grew up in a household where there was a lot of trauma, and if they keep replaying those stories in their minds and do not take responsibility for for their own healing process, for example, and still playing a lot of blame game. Now, understand here that whatever I'm saying here, I am not victim shaming. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just telling you the situation, that if you have been in a situation where you were victimized growing up as a child, I'm not shaming you in any way. What I'm reminding you is that bad things may have happened to you, and sometimes, and well, most of the time, as a child, when you grow up in an environment where it is toxic or you have been abused, it is really beyond your control, right? I mean, that we all completely understand. But as you grow up, you become an adult. Our hope is that you get the help that you need to empower yourself, then you start your journey on healing. Now, of course, it's easier said than done, right? And that, very often we may not be given the opportunities to go on a healing journey. But if you do get on the journey of healing, know that you will be carrying the torch for your ancestral line, for all of the, um, you know, the mindsets, being trapped in the loop of negativity, trapped in a loop of negative feelings, negative thoughts, and negative actions, right? And if your family has a tradition of this, right, the culture is such that it's so embedded in this negativity, and you happen to be someone who became more enlightened out of the situation, then it is certainly your responsibility to work on clearing ancestral stuff. It is very heavy. It's very heavy going. It is very challenging. And my encouragement to you is not to give up, right? Too often we hear people who say life has been so difficult, it is so unfair, why must I be the one carrying the load or carrying the torch or doing the ancestral clearing for my family? And then they give up, right? So my encouragement to you is not to give up. Yes, it may feel tough, it may feel difficult, and this is where you need to find the support. You need to find a community, you need to find a coach or a healer or someone to assist you in your process so that you do not feel so alone in your journey. And ultimately, whatever work that you do, as difficult as it may be, you will be rewarded. You may not be able to see it now, you may not be able to experience it now, but the rewards are real and they will come. And this is patience, right? This is where you need to really practice patience. Now, if you are in a situation where you have not been able to get out of the loop and the healing is nowhere in sight, and you find that it is so difficult to be the one at the front line, to be the one holding the torch for your ancestors, for your family, I would encourage you not to give up. I would encourage you to keep on keeping on, find the support that is necessary for your healing, for your journey, because this is life, right? I mean, life is such that it is always an upward climb, and that it is embedded in us within our DNA structure that we have to evolve. Evolution is so much part of who we are as humans. And if you choose not to grow or choose not to move out because, for whatever reason, and we're not here to judge, because there are always things happening in life that may be so difficult for us to move, right? And for whatever reason, if you are still stuck in your situation, ask people to send you light, ask people to help you to pray, ask for help, right, in any way. And even someone who prays for you and keeps you in mind to hold space for you, that makes a difference, right? That will make a difference to how you will, manage your day to day. All right. So my message to you today is not to give up, whatever level you may be on, whether you are actively working on clearing ancestral stuff and working with your shadow, doing a lot of shadow work, or whether you have not jumped in yet, and because things are so difficult and maybe there is a lot of fear that you're still dealing with, right? Wherever you may be, right? Know that all you need to do is ask to have people pray for you, to have people send you light, put you in their thoughts, request for that. Okay, so I do have a prayer portal in one of my Facebook groups, so I'm going to put the link somewhere below this video so that you can join that Facebook group. Go and use the prayer portal, right, and set your prayers there. Have people pray for you, have people send light to you. Okay, so have a wonderful day ahead. God bless you, and namaste.